All right, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring. If it makes major news inside the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show. So make sure you tune in daily to the GSMC Sports Network at 8 o'clock. You get to see your favorite professional wrestling fan. Would love to get to know you guys as well. Make sure you guys are still, dropping those thoughts, those chats inside that box right there. Hit up that super chat, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together we'll make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our fourth segment. We're going to talk about will Nia Jax's title run be cut short? Um, I'm on the side of Nia Jax here. I definitely hope that she has a healthy, long title run. I really honestly can't see her losing the belt anytime soon. Even if you see a surprise, return or like a WWE debut or signing or anything like that. Once again, we still have Stephanie Vaquer still, kind of lingering in the wicks. Find out what's going to happen with her WWE SmackDown run there. But as in terms of future bookings for Nia Jax, Nia Jax has that it factor to her. She has that that badass mentality. She's big, she's bad, she's strong, she's amazing inside the ring, and she can back up her stuff. So the way her character is in WWE right now, you can basically mesh well with any storyline possibly. She's hated enough for the all the babyface audiences to boo her, but then she's liked enough by the heel audiences, so like she's cheered for. Like she's that perfect, like, you kind of don't want to root against her. You know what I mean? Like I feel I get those vibes every single time I watch one of her matches. Every single time I see her cut a good promo, I'm like, you know what? Like you can't really hate this girl. This girl is WWE. This is exactly who, what she was made to do. And she could have had a lot more success in WWE, but once again, when it comes to like, plus or sized athletes, even in the men's division as well, um, they don't really pull the trigger on so much of a long title run like you've seen with the Big Show, like you saw with like, with Keith Lee and Viscera and with the Viking Raiders. You see all these big people, these, and then like when I mean big people, I mean like their physicality is like off the charts, and they're amazing athletes still. It's it's hard to book them. It's hard to book them. It's not like having a champion like Bailey, which you can kind of put her up against anybody. Kind of put her up against anywhere, and she's gonna have a good match. Nia Jax is kind of like that, but inside the ring, every single match she kind of fights. Like it's, back and forth a little bit. Mostly she has control. The other superstar can't really perform a lot of moves that, other fights could possibly have. So your game in terms of the match is kind of not really versatile. Like if you go up for a top rope maneuver, 50%, you can't lift her up. Hitting a submission is very rare. Well, Becky Lynch did it pretty well when they had their fights, when they were feuding. So I think it's plausible, but I don't know, right? It's hard for booking. It makes it a little difficult when you have such a dominant champion, kind of like you had when Brock Lesnar as well, when he was the WWE Universal Champion. Where do you go against people like Finn Balor and AJ Styles? And he made them look good. They put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, you kind of watched and you're like, oh god, like we all know what's gonna happen. They don't even look like they're phasing Brock. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I think it's I definitely think she deserves more. I definitely think this second run. I hope it lasts. I hope Tiffany Stratton doesn't cash in on her. I feel like that'd be I feel like that would suck. That would be awful. It'd be good for Tiffany. It'd be good for Tiffany, but Naya, I just hope that she has the title a little longer than what people anticipate. All right, Nia Jax defeated Bailey to win her WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. She's only had two title runs. The first title run came in 2018 when she defeated Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania 34. But according to her, winning on the grandest stage of them all just to kind of give it back to Alexa Bliss 70 days later after she cashed in her Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss cashed in that same night. We had that match between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. Nia Jax in an interview compared the two title runs and stated that her second title reign, kind of surpasses her inaugural one, which is kind of crazy. And she said, and I quote, "When I first won the title, it was a great moment against Alexa Bliss. We had an amazing storyline. It was more of a shock to me. We had Ronda coming in and more, and there were so many other factors kind of going on. I, didn't really get to kind of soak in. I feel this one has meant so much more." So, she's kind of feeling this title reign as well, and she should. Well, like I said, I hope it's here to stay. Right now, anybody on the SmackDown roster really can't, handle Nia Jax. Not Mi Chin, not not Bianca or not Jade. Well, it'd be kind of interesting to see Jade, kind of going there because I think she did eliminate her in the Royal Rumble, but there's not really anybody that can handle her stuff. You know what I mean? Obviously, if Alexa Bliss comes back, she could. But I doubt she's going to come back to SmackDown. I more or less she's probably going to be part of the White Six kind of storyline here. But Nia Jax defeated Lyra Valkyrie to be crowned the 2024 Queen of the Ring. Recently, Jax appeared on Unlikely with Adrian Hernandez, and she named multi-time former WWE Women's Champion Becky Lynch as one of the greatest to kind of do it at all time. Showing that she does have respect for her peers, showing that when she's inside the ring, it's not all about let's go out there and get mine. You know what I mean? Let's go out there, and essentially have a great match. She seems like she's very supportive of the superstars inside the squared circle and also behind the locker room. It seems like she's very liked. I've sneaked a couple of peeks at Total Divas when she was inside, and of course, exiting kayfabe and stuff like that. It seemed like deep down inside, her family's been around professional wrestling her whole entire life, and it's from a person or from a wrestler that has not really had that much success, in her career. It doesn't really seem like she's like entitled, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if, she's not really entitled. She's not be like, I'm The Rock's cousin. Give me a title run or I'm going to quit. I'm leaving. I'm all elite, baby. No, it's not like that. You know what I mean? She kind of has a bigger, broader picture, kind of thinking outside the box mentality, which is very rare because a superstar of her status could definitely twist a couple arms and to have a great contract or can, maybe, like the NFL players have where they kind of hold out just for, better storylines and bookings. Nia Jax has an immense respect for Triple H and what he wants to do with her character. And I feel like within the last 3 or 4 years, I think she's finally getting rewarded. I think Paul Levesque's going to keep the belt on her probably till Mania. Right now, I wouldn't like I said, I don't see anybody on the SmackDown roster. I think in terms of her title run being cut short, a recent report from ad hashtag PWN reports four-time women's champion Charlotte Flair is expected to remain on WWE SmackDown upon her return, kind of having this queen versus queen kind of storyline. And but when it comes to WWE, it's they kind of bend head, they kind of fall head over heels for Charlotte Flair. They love themselves some Charlotte Flair. I just hope I hope she doesn't lose to Charlotte. But there's been a couple of times where Charlotte Flair has came back from a hiatus, if it was either injury or vacation or whatever, and and they gave her the belt. There's all right here, represent our brand a little bit, which isn't dumb. It's not like it's a dumb idea to have Charlotte Flair represent your women's division because out of all the women inside WWE, when you say the word Charlotte Flair, people actually notice. You know what I mean? People actually understand that name. They know it's wrestling. They respect Charlotte Flair. So in terms of like name, image, and likeness, and bringing more attention to WWE, I can understand putting the strap on Charlotte Flair. But at the same time, Nia Jax, like I said, this could ultimately make her career as well. Because she was gone off of WWE for quite some time. I actually did think her and Tamina left for greener pastures somewhere, and I wouldn't have blamed her. I thought they were all done with Nia Jax, and then Nia Jax came back, and I was like, all right, like, let's do this. Like, what's going to happen next? And a couple of bad bookings, storylines where she was still this big, bad, this strong girl that looked absolutely dominant, and people ask themselves, man, this girl's going to be a future WWE Women's Champion. And then they would book her in matches where she would just look weak and kind of put over her opponents, and they're like, man, had the audience like talking to themselves like, this girl, she's not a future WWE Women's Champion, and I think that's a damn shame. I think it kind of sucks. And like I said, I think she deserves the best. And her win, be having a feud with Charlotte Flair and ultimately overcoming it and being the one left standing could do wonders for her career. 1,010%. It'd be great. It'd be great for her just as much as putting the belt back on Charlotte. Kind of having this new unpredictable, kind of just like this different sort of WWE. You've never really had anybody, at least on the SmackDown side, kind of hold a title belt kind of hostage. Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw had the WWE World Women's Championship in a stranglehold for the longest time because, she was absolutely, dominant as well. She was very dominant, and winning the belt from Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I personally thought it would be kind of cool if Charlotte Flair, debuted. Well, make it back to Monday Night Raw. Feud with Rhea Ripley, kind of being the reason why, Liv Morgan retains the title. But like who knows? Like right now, it's storyline's still up in the air, and like I hope WWE, just based on their reputation, I kind of thought to myself, and I was like, you know what, suck if they kind of cut Nia Jax's title run short again because they love themselves some Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? But yeah, this Queen versus Queen storyline is definitely in the future, 1,010%. And Bailey, obviously, you saw on SmackDown a double pin. Now she's fighting Naomi on SmackDown this week to find out who will fight Nia Jax at Bad Blood. Obviously, I feel like Bailey's going to win. It's more likely for her to fight Nia Jax because they just have more history, kind of more bad blood. If Naomi wins and she's staring at Nia Jax, from the opposite side of the ring, you don't really get this like bad blood mentality. You know what I mean? You don't really get this like, I don't know. I don't know. It would be interesting to kind of see, the match end in a tie. So like, maybe you have a triple threat match. That would be, that'd be pretty interesting as well. But as of right now, I think Bailey's going to be the next one to challenge for Nia Jax's WWE Women's Championship. All right, guys, that was my fourth segment talking about some Nia Jax. I love myself some Nia Jax. Nia Jax is cool as hell. And yeah, we're going to talk about The Rock. Everybody knows the show Hot Ones. Hot Ones wants the most electrifying man in sports entertainment on their show. Will he say yes? He had one requirement on, saying that he's going to go on if they do this one thing. And I'm going to share when we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.